Welcome back to the ACL Academy. This is Dr. Kaan, and today I'm going to show you my favorite knee extension stretch. You've seen me talk about this before in previous videos on our YouTube channel right here, but the number one priority, just to overemphasize this again, the number one priority after any injury, after ACL surgery, is to get your full knee extension back. This is so crucial. The longer we go without getting that full knee extension, which is the full straightening, the harder and harder it is to get back. And if we can't get our knee fully straight, even hyperextended like the other side, you're going to have problems while you're standing. You're going to be walking with a limp, and it's going to lead to a whole bunch of other issues as you progress through your recovery process. So this is the number one goal. Before I get any further and go into my favorite way to get knee extension back, please, if you found some value from this channel, subscribe to it, share it with a friend, like the video, comment below, spread the word. We will continue to put out weekly content for you. So now getting into it, as I said, knee extension, the top priority after surgery, okay? So we want to get this back as soon as possible. There are two key ways to getting knee extension back. One, we have to passively stretch it, right? We have to gain the motion. And then two, we have to activate, meaning we have to use our quad muscles to keep that motion. Okay, if we want to make increases in range, we have to do the passive stretch first. And what we like to do is use low load, okay, long duration stretching. So we want to stretch for a long period of time, putting enough pressure, right? Finding that fine line of how much weight and pressure to put, how much load to put, so we're not fighting the stretch. So my favorite way to stretch into knee extension, a passive stretch, is called the bag hang. Very simple. You need a duffel bag or a grocery bag, and you need a little bit of weight, okay? You're going to find yourself a chair set up, okay? So what would work great is a lounge chair, so this way you're comfortable, and then maybe an ottoman in front of you, all right? You take the duffel bag, okay, open it up, and you want to put a little bit of weight in there. What I would suggest when you're first starting out is something small, maybe 2 pounds, 3 pounds, and then you could work your way up, because we want to tolerate this stretch for a long period of time. So we take that weight, put it in the bag itself, and it has to have a bag with straps, because the straps are going to provide the tension for the stretch here. So once we get the weight in, we get that set up, we get the ottoman set up in front of us, and what we want to do is take this strap, right, and put our leg into it, okay? The ottoman is going to be placed where our foot can be, just the heel should be on the ottoman itself. If we are more of the leg, so if the calf is on there as well, you're going to feel less of a stretch. And you could start this way, but if we want to get more aggressive, more bang for our buck, we should be able to get our heel on there, and our thighs should be supported. The straps of the bag, okay, should be just above the kneecap area here. So that's going to provide the stretch that you want. And we want to make sure there's tension on there. So for example, for this specifically, we want to make sure that this is off the table, right? So this stretch is providing a nice downward motion. The weight is hanging from the bag itself, and I'm providing a good force. The reason that I like this strap above the kneecap is because that's what's on the thigh bone. And we want to make sure that thigh bone is going backwards, and that's going to provide the tension of the stretch itself. When you're doing this, ideally, we should feel a nice stretch from the hamstring area all the way into the lower calf, okay, with a lot of that stretch occurring in the back of the knee there. Ideally, we want to be able to hold a stretch like this for 10 minutes. The longer, the better, So start with a weight that you can tolerate. By the 10-minute mark, it should feel very, very tight, and you should want to be able to take the bag out. If you have too much weight in there, the problem what's going to happen is you're going to start to fight it. Like you're going to start to kind of contract your hamstring muscles and fight the stretch. So the weight has to be just right. And it may take you some time to figure out, but we want to be able to hold that for about 10 minutes or longer. So you can work your way up from 10 to 15 to 20 minutes to get a nice deep stretch here. And the longer we do this, the more you're going to get some solid extension. Okay? When we are ready to release the bag, what I would suggest is unloosen the duffel bag so you can get it on the floor, and then you'll have some loose tension here. Then you want to pull out the ottoman from in front of you or push it out, and then lower the leg because it's going to feel very, very tight to try to get it back out. Okay? And then once you get it out of that stretch, the next piece of this is actively working that extension. So what you can do is once you get out of the duffel bag, you can put your foot back onto the ottoman, okay? And now we're trying to contract our quad muscle because this is the muscle that's going to engage and push the knee straight. So for example, we were going to drive down, get a good quad squeeze, 1, 2, 3, and rest. Squeeze, 1, 2, 3, and rest. And we can work this in seated like this. We can also stand, okay? Let the knee bend out a little bit, and then same thing. Get a nice contraction, 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. And then do that repeatedly. So first, it's all about the passive stretch, right? We do the bag hang. We get a nice solid 10 to 15 minute stretch, a loaded stretch. So we're pushing into a little bit more extension. And then we have to actively work that motion to keep the range. So that's all about doing what we call isometric quad contractions that I just showed you. You could do them on the ottoman with your leg here, okay, pushing down and squeezing. You could do them standing up. You can do them laying down. Okay, the more you activate that quad muscle, the more you'll be able to work into that new range that you just gained. This is by far the best stretch you can do to help gain more knee extension and is the top priority. If you found some value in this video, please like it. Please share it with a friend. Please subscribe to the channel as we put out weekly content each and every week. Signing off, this is Dr. Kaan, and I'll see you next week.